Mr. Harry Chalfant, Chief of the U.S. Operations Mission to Israel. Mr. Teddy Kollek, Director General of the Prime Minister's Office. Both have just arrived in Haifa from Jerusalem to receive a distinguished guest, Mr. Bruce McDaniel. And from the warmth of that greeting, this seems to be a reunion of old friends, partners in some joint undertaking well concluded. And that is what this picture is all about.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to this press conference. Here on my right, I'm introducing to you Mr. Bruce McDaniel, the first chief of USOM, the U.S. Technical Aid Mission to Israel. He came here first time 10 years ago. Here on my left is Mr. Henry Chalfant, the last chief of the mission. Between the two of them, over these years, they have provided us with several hundred experts in many fields and first-class people. And on top of that, with several $100 million in long-term loans and in grants.
Then why can't we keep them here for another few years?
This time, Mr. McDaniel is here as a guest of the Israel government, and we are very happy to have him here with us. As a result of the aid we have received during the first few years of our statehood, we are now able, with our own efforts, to continue in our development program. And we are in no small way indebted for this to Mr. McDaniel, to Mr. Chalfant, and to all their aides and associates.
Was that aid agreement really so vital? Were there any strings attached?
That was a short time after our War of Independence. Hundreds of thousands of immigrants came in from German concentration camps and from many other places. We needed technical aid and economic assistance badly. The United States offered it to us, as you call it, in diplomatic parlance, without strings attached. Now, 10 years after, looking back, we certainly have no regrets.
Mr. McDaniel, from your first impression, have you found changes?
Yes, it has changed very radically. 10 years ago, we were engaged in laying the foundation upon which it was hoped that the people of Israel might be able to build a sound, free, democratic nation, and in so doing, contribute to the strength of the community of nations. To return now and find how Israel has mobilized her total resources, her land, her people, and her raw materials, for me as an American, is very satisfying, because it proves that technical assistance and economic aid can be successful. And it has been successful here for several reasons, the first of which is that there was a full partnership between the nation which gave and the nation which received. And secondly, because the government which was receiving had the courage to see that all of the aid was used for the benefit of all the people. And thirdly, the programs which were adopted were programs which were practical and could be understood by the people.
What do you plan to revisit? From where will you start?
Well, I would like to see many places and many people.
Places and people. The arid desert.